China is, of course, urging restraint on all sides to avoid making an already tense situation worse. For analysis now, our Chief U.S. Security Correspondent Jim Sciutto joins us live from Washington. Jim, great to have you with us. Now, last year, North Korea threatened to turn Washington into a sea of fire. This year, it's warned of a preemptive nuclear strike. Is this a lot of bluster, or are officials thinking this could be a serious threat?
Well, U.S. officials look at the timing here and they look at patterns. So every year around the time of these U.S. South Korean military exercises, there is some North Korean provocation. Last year, as you mentioned, Linda, it was this threat of turning American cities into a sea of fire. So now you have this talk of a preemptive nuclear strike. They really see it more as bluster, provocative bluster, but they don't expect it's a threat that North Korea will carry out. And there is still questions, hard questions about whether North Korea could carry out such a threat. They know they've made progress on nuclear devices based on their most recent tests, certainly have made progress on missile technology. What is not clear is, have they been able to wed those two, to put something nuclear on top of a missile? The U.S. view is that they have to believe that's possible, but that it's at least an untested capability. So, one, you look at capability. Two, you look at the timing of this. And then, as Paula was mentioning, it's even more so this year because you had the missile test, you had the nuclear test. Now you have a very serious round of UN sanctions. That's something that makes North Korea very angry. And this is part of their message back in retaliation, in effect, for that.
So, Jim, is it likely that this sort of talk is aimed at a domestic audience as a way to perhaps build support for the regime as it justifies its massive military spending?
It is. It's a combination. It's a message for an international audience, in effect, to say, we're angry with the steps you are taking, the U.S., China, the UN. So you have it directed outwards, but certainly inwards as well, because this is a regime that is built on this aura of invincibility, and part of that is based on these constant threats, but also a deep investment in its military program to the cost of the North Korean people. As we know well, this is a country where you have famines, you have starvation, you have so many of the resources focused on that military program. So to justify that, in effect, they have to continue this sense of, we are a nation, we are a superior nation under attack, and we will stand up to the West. The West wants to invade us. They want regime change here, that kind of thing, and this is our defense. So absolutely right, an international message, but also a domestic message.
Always great to have your perspective on this. Jim Sciutto in Washington, thank you.
Thank you, Linda.
Still to come, Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 disappeared from radar screens 2 years ago Tuesday. As families remember their loved ones, time is running out for them to seek compensation. More on that story just ahead.